You didn't become an entrepreneur to be chained to your desk 24/7, answering Slack messages at midnight, and waking up every morning wondering when you can finally take a vacation. What you really want as an entrepreneur is freedom. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do to get freedom of time so you can do the things that you really want to do. Freedom of money so that you never have to worry about when you're going to receive that next payment from your next client. And the third is freedom of creativity. So you feel free to do the things that you really enjoy and love doing. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Jennifer Waters, and I actually help entrepreneurs be able to become a category of one leader in their niche so they can dominate their market and command premium prices. And I learned all of this by building a multiple 7-figure portfolio of companies, some in the B2C space, some in the B2B space as well. We have an agency that's done past $220,000 a month. We have our B2C companies that are a chain of martial arts schools. So when it comes to understanding exactly what is necessary to get out of this crazy cycle that it's easy to fall into as an entrepreneur, I understand it and I understand it deeply. So let me just start with the very first thing that you must do if you want to break free of this trap. And the first thing is to price for freedom. So if you are currently stuck in this cycle of answering those Slack messages at midnight or staying awake trying to fulfill on something that you've promised, it's because you haven't priced what it is that you're offering for your freedom. You see, when it comes to pricing, if we are presenting this price to the market, and we're relatively good at sales, which we'll cover in one of the other videos that I have on my channel, but if you're pricing it and let's say you sell B2C, if you are converting 80 to 90% of people in a B2C environment, your price is too low. You're too cheap. And there's a couple of things that I see that entrepreneurs do with these low prices. The first thing is they price it that way because they think, okay, if I price it this way, I'm going to sell, especially when we're talking about B2C services, I'm going to sell a lot of people. I'm going to generate a lot of money. But the problem is when you generate all that money, you can't fulfill on it at scale because you're priced too low. And in order to fulfill on it, you've got to hire people. But your gross profit on that unit, on that thing that you're selling is so low that you can't scale it past you, which is why you're stuck. Now, if you're in the B2B space, like maybe you're a coach or consultant or an agency owner, if you're pricing in the B2B space and you're getting 50% conversions or 40% conversions and you have a tested script and it's tried and true, then your market is telling you that you can increase your prices. You see, we oftentimes as entrepreneurs don't want to hear the word no. And because we don't want to hear the word no, we price ourselves too low in the marketplace. If I want to break out of that cycle of having so many customers and not being able to afford help to come in and help me with my business, I have to start charging more. Now, the second thing is commanding those premium prices. Because the next thing you might say is, well, Jennifer, if I raise my prices, nobody's going to buy from me. Part of the reason people don't buy from you is because you're not what I call a category of one leader. You might have heard me mention that earlier. What does category of one leader mean? It means that you can literally look out into the landscape of businesses that are similar to yours, but you stand alone because you're in a category all to your own. You're in a category of one. There's nobody else to compare you to. And that's the problem right now with your business. Right now, you're pricing yourself most likely comparatively to other people, or you might even be price shopping other businesses or agencies or something in your niche where you're going, oh man, I need to go ahead and try to be a little bit more expensive or a little less expensive in order to keep up because the same clientele is being attracted with my competitor as with me. The real way that you can command premium prices is to become somebody that everyone in your market knows and respects. The interesting thing is when I stepped into the agency world, it was a completely different niche. For years, I'd already run a multiple 7-figure brick and mortar business. But you're talking about in the online agency world. There's tons of other agencies. And I stepped in at a time where no one knew who I was because I'd been building my 7-figure business quietly. Matter of fact, I'd stayed out of the limelight. Literally, no one knew who I was. within just 24 months, I had gone from no one knowing who I was to being number one or number two in my niche. How did I do that? And why did it allow me to command premium prices for my clients? Well, I had to make sure that I was omnipresent. I was literally everywhere that people in my niche could be. I was in Facebook groups. I created my own group. I made sure that I was producing content. I made sure that I was engaging with people on a regular basis. Matter of fact, probably the reason why you're here right now is because I'm applying those same strategies to help entrepreneurs be able to dominate their niche. So you probably found my content because of the same exact reason. I'm literally everywhere. You don't have to have a massive team to do this in the beginning, but you do have to put energy and effort into it. Now, the final thing that's going to allow you to get this freedom of time, to get this freedom of money, to get this freedom of creativity is you must become a unicorn, or what I call the category of one leader. So when people are coming to you and you present whatever it is that you're selling, your program, your price, your product, your service, you must be able to present something that's transformational, something that's going to make their life not incrementally better, but over the top, through the roof, to the moon and back better. And if you can't convey that messaging, it will be very hard for you to stand out as a category of one leader. So when it comes to this, we want to focus on not just features, but on transformational experiences. For example, in my brick and mortar chain of businesses, martial arts school, we could just say, hey, we teach punches and kicks to kids, right? But that's not what we do. Instead, we really focus on the character development that kids get through our martial arts program. You see, martial arts is just the vehicle that we use to be able to help people. In my agency, Seven Figure Dojo, we literally help schools triple their new student enrollment in 90 days. We do it through the vehicle of marketing, but we also have additional things that they're learning how to build a 7-figure business. And that's going to allow them to be able to triple their new students. So you've got to break apart what is it that you do and how are you going to package it in such a way that it is a transformational experience. So if you really want to break free from these Slack messages in the middle of the night or wondering when you're going to get that next deposit from your Stripe account, you've really got to start applying these principles that I've talked about here today. You've got to make sure that you're pricing for freedom, that you're commanding premium prices because of your omnipresence in the market, and that you are a category of one leader. If you found this information helpful, do me a huge favor. The majority of people who watch this content aren't subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, give me a thumbs up.